Hey there, my name is Veritech, and this is How to Overwatch for Beginners, a series focused on helping players build a good foundation of habits to improve their play within the game. In this episode, we're going to be breaking down Junkrat.
Kaboom!
Please note, Junkrat is a more advanced hero to master. He's easy enough to pick up, but keep in mind it will take a while to become a god of destruction. Junkrat's primary is the FRAG launcher. His primary fire launches grenades in a large arc, and they bounce until they reach a target or set amount of time, and then they explode. Sometimes the target is himself. Concussion mine is the shift key. You detonate it with the right mouse button. Junkrat throws a mine out that sticks to floors, walls, and ceilings. He can detonate it to cause enemies to take a large spike of damage and propel them quickly in any direction. He can also use it to launch him in any direction, so use it to reach elevated positions where you can rain down grenades on the enemy team from your primary fire. Steel Trap is a Z key. Junkrat throws out a large bear trap that sits on the ground until it's activated, destroyed, or another trap is thrown out. When an enemy runs over it, the trap will activate and spring shut, immobilizing them in place and dealing a small amount of damage. Total Mayhem is his passive. When Junkrat dies, he leaves behind presents for the opposing team in the form of 8 grenades that will explode after a minor delay. Got a pesky Tracer or May that won't leave you alone? Kaboom, baby! Riptire is his ultimate. It's the Q key. Junkrat will fire up and launch a large spiked tire that he can steer in a direction to seek out the enemy team. It can climb over walls and obstacles, and is terrifying to hear as an opposing player. He can detonate the ultimate remotely, or just wait for it to run out. The tire can also travel through shields, so those beefy armored tanks pose little threat when the spiky round explosive spawn is patrolling for targets. Also, please note it lasts 10 seconds and has 100 health, so it can be destroyed, resulting in no damage done, and that Junkrat remains stationary while the ultimate is active, so he can be killed while using it. And now, the basic how-to for Junkrat. So, Junkrat, how to put this? Junkrat is crazy. Like, clinically insane. How should you play him? Not safe, that's for sure. He excels being in the thick of things, where he can fire grenades in all directions, throw out mines and traps, and cause general mayhem. There's a reason his passive is live grenades. Get in there and fight, maggot! Junkrat excels at disrupting the enemy and causing absolute mayhem, and if you're not cackling maniacally while playing him, you're doing it wrong. Everything about his kit makes no sense, but it all ties together perfectly. Whereas there are surgical heroes like Soldier 76 and Hanzo, Junkrat is on the other end of the spectrum. You could probably have an equal amount of success tactically lobbing grenades at enemies, or rapidly spinning your mouse in a circle while rolling your face across the keyboard. In fact, this is the way I recommend you play him. Joking aside, his primary fire doesn't travel very fast, isn't super accurate at sniping opponents, and is not the most reliable at reaching your intended target without tons of practice. You will need to learn how to lead your opponent, i.e. firing in front of them, and anticipating where an enemy will be before they get there. He's maddeningly hilarious to play, because there's almost nothing more satisfying than catching an enemy in the face with blindly fired grenades around corners. Whenever I snag a kill using the blind fire method, I can almost hear the snapping of keyboards as the enemy curses me to an early grave. Junkrat's concussion mine ability is one of the most satisfying abilities in the game to use, simply because if you misutilize it, the results are 100% unpredictable. When triggered under an enemy with a full health bar, it will launch them into the air in a random direction. Now, keep in mind you can time the explosion to help launch an enemy in the direction of your choosing, but come on, refer to the golden rule. Don't play safe! Going off on a tangent because I can see the response from angry teammates when you feed, but Veritech said to play him chaotically in his how-to video. Safe does not equal stupid. Toe that line between unhinged and aggressive safe and insane safe. Getting back on point, many times you'll be throwing the mine out, and then as you see an enemy run by, you'll activate it for some surprise boom booms. If you want to be a complete dirtbag, use this combo at the beginning of a match. If you're defending, quietly tiptoe up to an enemy entrance, and with their door or gate closed, place the mine on top of his steel trap. When the barriers drop, you could very well catch an enemy in it, and when you see the triggered message on the screen, activate the mine. If you caught anything other than a tank or a reaper, chances are they're gonna be dead. His mine can be used to set up a surprise ambush on archways and ceilings, and you can place it around corners so enemies won't even see their death coming. Now, the combo I like to use is to lob one grenade at an enemy, and then trying to time it perfectly, I throw the mine out at them as well. That way, as the grenade and the mine reach the target at roughly the same time, I detonate the mine. Boom! Technical one-shot. Someone once admitted to me I was the most frustrating Junkrat they had played against in a long time because I kept nailing them with this combo and dropping them in less than half a second. That's the goal here, folks. Get in your opponent's head. Junkrat is perfect for that. His steel trap is also perfect for countering the wild inaccuracy of his frag launcher. It locks an enemy in place, and you can very rapidly line up a shot and wreck an opponent quickly and efficiently. Junkrat? Efficient? Say it ain't so, but it's the truth. His trap is very easy to spot, so it's easy for the enemy to kill it, but you can use it to catch a charging Reinhardt or nab that annoying Tracer as she's blinking around you. She can't rewind out of it for the duration of the trap, so use that to your advantage. However, keep in mind a Reaper can use his Wraith form while stuck in the trap, effectively nullifying any follow-up damage you could have dealt. Alright, so Riptire time. It sounds like something out of a horror film, but it's killable if you run it straight at an enemy, so don't! Get mental with it. It's loud, so use it to get inside your opponent's head. You have 10 seconds to find someone and detonate it. Because it can travel virtually anywhere, use that to your advantage. Got a Widowmaker or Hanzo that are camping up on a roof picking off your team? Run that tire up the back of the building and greet them. Tracer just blinked around behind that wall to grab a health pack, but there's no ceiling? Drop in on her for a surprise visit. Who knew a spiked tire could be so friendly? And again, it's a common theme in my how-to videos. Much like Tracer and Reaper, don't get caught in the mindset that you need that 4 to 6 player multi-kill. If you can eliminate a single enemy from the battlefield, it gives your team a numbers advantage. So use it how you see fit to gain an advantage. In conclusion, Junkrat is nuts, and he's fun as heck to play. His kit is so disjointed, yet perfect for him. Take that safe and cautious style of play you're used to, and lob it away like a frag grenade. You won't need that. Get in and disrupt the enemy. Be unpredictable, but stay in constant communication with your team so they know what to expect out of you. Running off and dying on your own, and worse yet, not getting a follow-up kill with this passive, benefits no one. So while you're being a nutjob, make sure your team knows what you're doing so they can back you up. Use the unpredictability of his kit to your advantage. If you have no idea where your enemy will land, chances are they don't know either. So throw them off their game. Get in their head. Go absolutely mental, and have a blast destroying the enemy team on your way to some explosive wins. Again, my name is Veritech. If you feel this was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe, and be sure to tune into my live stream